So you're starting a Doctor of Physical Therapy program soon, are you? Well, let me give you some advice, maybe a little bit different advice than what you might get from current DPT students. As a long-standing faculty member, professor, and chairperson, let me give you some slightly different advice. That advice is going to focus in on your relationship with your faculty members. Let me start off with a fundamental and basic premise that I think will guide all of your interactions with your faculty members. First, they are very likely in the position that they are in because they want to help you to be successful and to succeed and to be an outstanding physical therapist. And if you start with that basic premise, a lot of other things fall into place. The next thing is that your faculty members will know a lot of what you are going through. Keep in mind that they were once a physical therapy student themselves, and while things may change over time, the vast majority of physical therapy school has stayed consistent for the last 50 years. So they will have a great appreciation for what you are going through because they walked in similar shoes. Next, most of these individuals will be friendly with you, but they will most likely not want to be your friend at this moment in time. They are tasked with a responsibility to grade you and to assess you. And to do that in a fair way, there often needs to be some separation between your role and their role. But they will be friendly and they will care about you deeply, both as a student as well as a person. Keep in mind that your faculty probably come from different generations. There's very likely to be someone like myself that is Gen X. There are very likely to be millennials. They are going to have different expectations and slightly different norms. So let me give you some general advice to start with, and if that individual gives you additional privileges, then so be it. But do not walk into your faculty member's office without knocking. As the chairperson and program director, I do not go to the other faculty and walk into their office. I go to their door, I knock, and I ask if they have a moment to talk. I have students, unfortunately, that will simply walk into my office unannounced and just start talking. This is a relatively new phenomenon. This certainly did not happen 10, 15, or 20 years ago. So keep in mind that what your societal norms may be may not align with your faculty members' norms. Now, the other thing that sometimes when they do knock at the door, they will ask me, "Are you busy?" My response jokingly is often, "No, I'm just sitting here goofing off." What they really want to ask me is, "Do you have a minute to talk?" And generally, I will stop what I am doing and I will talk to those students, especially if it's a relatively short conversation. If it is a more involved situation, then it is probably best that you ask for an appointment, or if there's a time that would be best for you to come back. So let's talk about, what do you call them? They will tell you what their preferred way of being addressed is. For my students, I ask that they call me Dr. Davis. There are other faculty members that will ask to be called by their first name, so you will quickly know how they prefer to be addressed. My advice is that you address them behind their back in the same way that you would address them to your face. So let me give you an example. I oftentimes will have a student come and talk to me, and they will talk about another faculty member in a good way, not in a bad way, but they will say that Smith said. My advice is that if they want to be called Dr. Smith, that you refer to them as Dr. Smith behind their back and to their face. If they want to be called Jane, then by all means, when you're talking to me about Jane, you can say that Jane said, and I will appreciate the fact that Jane wants to be called Jane rather than Dr. Johnson. Now again, every faculty member, every chairperson is going to be different. At orientation, I give all of my students my personal cell phone, and that I tell them that if they are ever in a situation, a life situation, and they need help and they don't have anyone else to call, that they are more than welcome to call me. So an example would be if they're out on the road and they break down and they've got a flat tire and they need assistance, I want them to call me. I even tell them, look, if you are out one night and maybe you've had too much to drink and you do not feel that you are safe, I am perfectly fine with you to call me, and I would rather you call me and I will help you out in that moment, no questions asked, rather than getting in trouble and potentially getting a DUI. So faculty are very different. Some faculty, there's no way they would give you their cell phone. Other faculty members are going to be very different, and you need to find out what those boundaries are. But in general, you will find in physical therapy school that your faculty are going to be a little bit different than what they were in undergrad. You are establishing a lifelong relationship with these individuals. When you graduate, you will be their colleague. Many of them will be your mentor. I have graduates, former students, that will periodically reach out via email or text or call me and ask me about a professional or a personal situation, and they want advice. That is something that I view when I take on a student, a PT student, that I am taking on that individual for life. As long as they want to reach out to me, then I am very happy to help them out personally or professionally. Again, not all physical therapy faculty will have that same approach. But for me, I am there for you during school and I am there for you after school. The last thing that I will say is I want you to keep in mind that you are going to need your faculty for references, for credentialing, for insurance purposes. You are going to need to create a relationship, a professional relationship, so that they can help you down the road achieve your goals. So if that faculty member knows you, they are going to be able to write a much better reference than if they only know that you were in the program and that they had you in class and that you basically showed up and did the minimum. So I encourage you to establish a relationship with your faculty. I encourage you that if you are having academic difficulty, that you reach out to the faculty and you get their help. Most faculty members will bend over backwards to help you be successful.